We are here to honor the life and legacy of Mark Sanchez, N2F's YouTube account. They were gone too soon, and today we've gained a hero, but we've lost a friend to steal Chroma's line. If you want to introduce yourself, Chroma. And Komugi is also joining us today.
Yes, and I'm definitely going to show up in this recording for sure. I can see my microphone going on. For anyone who doesn't know, I record all of these episodes, and I just recorded a several-minute-long thing with everyone here, but I was a ghost because I didn't show up in the audio. I'm Komugi, aka Genki and Sienna.
It might be a good thing that one's not going to see the light of day, because most of that was just me and Chroma just sobbing uncontrollably because Mark Sanchez is gone. We couldn't believe
Mark Sanchez is gone.
And so is the Corto edition of Apple Black, but we will get to that later. Yes,
we don't really care about that, honestly.
I care about Apple Black.
There's two sad tragedies that happened today. It's like one of them was a funeral that we were mourning, and then the car crashed in.
And then we lost the first recording. Just losses on losses here. I'm so sad. I'm
mourning Mark Sanchez, and then Apple, and then the new Apple Black reboot steals my car and crashes it into the coffin, and then we don't even get it on video.
It's so sad. So Mark Sanchez, before they deactivated their YouTube account, left a second comment, and I want to share that with everyone today. So Mark Sanchez, N2F, notifighting, I assume, because Mark Sanchez is the ultimate moral arbiter of the Saturday Wars. They have the ultimate say in what is moral and right. Because as you may recall, if this is your first time here, Mark Sanchez's first comment started with, "You guys think this is funny." So not only are they the judge of morality, but they are also the judge of humor and taste.
They can read our minds, too.
They truly can. And Mark Sanchez, I want to say, you are less transphobic than me. Mark Sanchez, you say "you guys" to a group that is 2 out of 3 trans women. I have said "you guys" in reference to Chroma and Komugi. So that's me talking to a group of 100% trans women, which means my statement is 100% transphobic. Now, Mark Sanchez, when you say "you guys," it's only 66% transphobic.
I'm going to fall asleep again.
Actually, this might not... Chroma, stay awake. I actually have to say that I think Toho is a bad franchise, and I need you to stay awake to tell me why it's not a bad franchise.
I'm going to kill you.
I'm kidding. I love Toho. There's a bunch of Neko and furry adjacent content. It was just a troll. It was reverse psychology.
Good. Anyway, back to sleep.
No! Okay, what we got to talk about with this is I don't think it actually is 66% because I am Komugi of the Genki and Sienna YouTube channel, and Genki, one of the characters in the name, is a cis male, So I think we would have to counter for 4 people here. We would have Genki, Sienna, Tapir, and Chroma. So 50%.
But I'm actually 5 people in a trench coat.
Huh? Are they all trans? If you don't mind me asking. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't ask that. You're right.
Is the one that is the head popping out of the top of the trench coat, is that one a trans woman? The head popping out of the trench? You said you were in a trench coat and there's got to be the head. No one ever wants to be the bottom. Everyone always wants to be the head.
That's
no. See how it works is the one talking to you is the head, but then one person's the right arm, one person's the left arm, and the other 2 are each one of the legs.
It's Megazord.
But how many rats are in the trench coat?
Oh, 50.
Okay. Are the rats trans?
Of course they are.
Okay, all right. I'm glad.
Don't ask a stupid question.
My apologies. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn as an ally.
This is definitely what Ratatouille was about. Don't check it. Don't check.
And Mark Sanchez,
don't check. Squeak, squeak. Don't check.
I also would like to say, Mark Sanchez, I'm going to really go out on a limb here and say that you are not homophobic either. I could say that as somebody who listens to gay disco music. I'm going to give you the F-slur pass. Very important that I do this to you, even posthumously, that I let everyone know that you are not homophobic.
You could have said "you gays."
That would have been great.
Yes.
That would have been great.
Yes.
Please come back to YouTube and say that. We've missed
you. Gays think this is funny? That really would have stung. Because that would have shown a little bit of sass from Mark Sanchez.
It sounded so much worse. You gays think this is funny?
I would that would have made Mark Sanchez's comment that much funnier.
You gays think this is funny? In a Lady Gaga sort of way, yes. Or in a RuPaul sort of way, yes.
If only.
You pigs think this is funny?
Mark Sanchez blessed us with a second comment before they left this YouTube realm. So the second comment of Mark Sanchez reads, cyberbullying at its finest. I do not think we are cyberbullies, but I'm glad that we are the finest of cyberbullies.
Yes,
That
as
if
opposed to the coarsest of cyberbullies.
yes,
I
yes.
hate
I'm,
cyberbullies.
you
It's
know,
rough and gets everywhere.
nice,
It's not fine. Like
nice,
Caitlin put
smooth
the five.
cyberbullying.
Coarse and
It's
coarse and
enjoyable.
rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
One day,
It's
so Mark
over. It's
Sanchez
over,
continued.
Odunze. I have the high ground.
No, he won against me, but I'll give a little bit of a teaser. Get into that later.
Oh, Doomsday, you were the chosen one. You were a brother to me.
If only, if only.
Amazing.
I am actually upset about the new Apple Black. Oh,
Let's
how can
talk
I get
about
through
that.
this first funeral? How can I get through this first funeral? Well, I want to
Laugh
finish
so we
reading Mark
don't
Sanchez.
cry.
Yeah. Mark Sanchez continues, and their second and presumably final comment, unless they rise from the dead like Jesus or Sano Bengote Tamashi, who is also Jesus.
Or Jesus Yamato from Gundam Seed.
Can someone please like take up the mantle? Like, like a freaking, I don't know. There's a bunch of different stories that have done that. I'm only thinking of the anime Magical Destroyers when I say it. But like when someone takes over the mantle after someone went down,
Oh,
they
God.
take on the title. It's like
The
become the
torch
new
of Mark Sanchez.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, a new Mark Sanchez will be born. Hopefully. We can only
Saturday
hope.
Wars episode 4, a new Mark.
A new Mark Sanchez. If only. Maybe in the best timeline, we will get many a Mark Sanchez that's running around with their shitty AI art anime profile picture. Because that's how I know
Episode
it's
5, the Sanchez strikes back.
So Mark Sanchez says, one day you're going to make some artist out there want to give up on drawing because of what you say. Now, if an artist is so fragile that us doing a little ribbing on the Saturday Wars cards makes them give up, I think anything would have made them quit. I think that, if they got their Starbucks order wrong one day, they would have quit drawing. Like, I think their disposition has nothing to do with us if you're going to give up because of this little podcast.
Also, Marky Mark, your grammar is bad and you should feel bad. You used the wrong your.
Yes. So Mark Sanchez.
See me after class.
I hope so. I hope every Mark Sanchez sees you after class.
Oh, God, please no.
We continue. I hope all of you are happy being toxic assholes with a tasteful censorship to bypass the filter. Get some help.
Why, yes, I am happy being a toxic asshole.
I am happy. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. And
sorry, excuse me.
It's okay. Komugi, please take all the time you need to cry. I got all my tears out, but
I can't cry. I'm physically incapable. My tear ducts don't work.
Is that
little
a
rat
true
tears.
fact?
No. I mean, my tear ducts don't work.
Oh no! But surely, if you saw Mark Sanchez rise from the dead, you would be moved by the awesome power of resurrection.
Rather, not tear ducts, tear glands. My eyes don't make the tears.
That sucks.
It's not fun.
That's not a fun rat fact.
Very dry eyes. Not fun.
I'm sorry. Well, I'll give you some teardrop so you can sprinkle them in your eyes. Mark Sanchez.
I have some eye drops, some artificial tears.
Get some help, says Mark Sanchez before they deleted their YouTube account. It's all gone. I just want Mark Sanchez. I just want you to know that I am happy and I am an asshole. My life is great. I have no plans of deleting my YouTube account. So
I have every plan of deleting my YouTube account along with the entire site.
Yeah. If all of YouTube gets nuked, I'd be fine with that.
I feel
it's what
like
we deserve.
There's some parts of this comment that might not be grammatically correct, and the your, that's fine, that's all grammatically correct. The being is also grammatically correct. I think the big issue that not quite is correct here is that he didn't capitalize happy for happy feet as highlighted in my image. He forgot
That's
that.
true. That's true.
This is true.
Huh.
Or it could be Pharrell
or
Williams.
Cyberbullying.
Yes, he didn't capitalize that either.
Yeah.
He didn't spell it right.
Cyberbullying at its finest. Well, I don't want to retread the same ground over and over like Apple Black is doing.
I do.
Great transition.
I like walking in circles.
You know what? I do too, but not creative because I think it's important that artists learn to move on and to build on what works and what doesn't, and to just keep moving instead of just circling the fucking drain forever and ever. I because Apple Black got a reboot. This is our second funeral for the day. That now the Quarto edition of Apple Black, the one in print, the one that if you go down to Barnes and Noble and they have Apple Black, it is that edition. It's now out of date. That book was published in 2022. Now, look, there have been changes from the serialized version to the print version in Chroma. You know what? You can fluff your pillow and go to sleep now. I'm going to get into Apple Black talk.
I will be here to hold up the fort. I will never fall asleep.
Thank you.
Because Apple Black
Thank
means
you.
everything to me. I love Whytmanga and her monkey.
Thank you. Thank
Is
you,
it a monkey
Komugi.
or is it a gorilla?
Whytmanga?
No, her monkey.
Well, this is a fucking monkey's paw wish if I ever saw one. Because this new Apple Black.
Am I crazy? Does Whytmanga not have a monkey? I thought she had a monkey. I saw it in the photo.
Oh no, that's WeWorth. That's Sano's pet monkey.
Whytmanga.
So this new version of Apple Black has it has a lot of the problems that, like, it fixed a lot of the problems that I outlined on my review on Substack, and but the work itself, it just reads so much worse than the one in the Quarto Books edition. And there's also like the concern of why are you redoing this when you just released it in book form? Like, I'm concerned. Like, White has this problem. Like, he also started redoing a lot of his YouTube, like old YouTube content that hit over 1 million views. And that concerned me, where it's like, oh no, you're just circling the drain. But like, you know, that it's a good boost to your ad rev. So it's one of those, like, okay, I like conceptually, like, I think it's creatively bankrupt to remake old YouTube content, but I do understand why someone would do it, you know, if it's like an easy payday. This, though, redoing your manga and having a new version of chapter 1 is concerning. I want to read what White said on Patreon about this. I want him to speak for himself. So he says on Patreon, his words, read Apple Black, under the post, read Apple Black manga, chapter 1, Neo Freedom Days, free with info. Hey guys, follow the Trinity, the genesis of this manga, and join the family with my manga, Apple Black. I'll have the first 3 chapters free for all, but future chapters, colored versions of the manga, and more rewards will be for members. Enjoy. This chapter is a little different from the version in the manga vault. No, it's a lot different. It is a lot different. Don't fucking lie to me like this, White.
I would like to also, Trinity, the genesis of this manga. You use that word just because it's also it's also a Bible word. Fuck off.
Like, from Genesis to the Love Hogs, of course. Sorry, I can't help myself.
No, it's all good. It's all good. He's got to be. I feel like he should be a little more careful with his more high-minded analogies that he does, because like I pointed out on the last episode, the villain in Apple Black basically says colonialization is bad. And, you know, and he intends for this to run 20 some volumes. So who knows where it'll go? Maybe the protagonist will be like, you know what, Villain Kun, you're right. Prince Ashokan Caesar, you're right. Colonization is bad. And maybe that's the direction they're going to go.
Wait,
but right now,
Prince is saying colonialism is bad.
Yes, like very clearly and directly. Like they even say like, oh, the continent of Eden was split up unfairly. Like very direct parallels to real world things. And it's one of those, like, I'm getting pretty nervous here because, you know, if you're going to take the point of like, he makes some good points, but he takes it too far, then it's like, I guess you could say that, but then I would want to see other, like, how do you fight colonization? Do you have an answer for that? Like, I don't want to hear that from a manga where it's not properly, like, okay, I don't know what books he's read. I don't know what research he's done, but I know he's watching One Piece. Like, I'm just saying, how do you as a mangaka, with all of your heart?
Also, like, I'm sorry, you're a mangaka and you want to get into One Piece, so you watch the anime instead of reading the manga?
Yeah, I'm just like I don't
you're a mangaka.
Yeah, you should be fucking embarrassed by that. By like asking for Reddit's permission. Is One Piece okay? Is One Piece worth the time? Oh god, that's not even the worst of his posts that he's made on Reddit. Oh my fucking god. He made probably one of the worst. Because this whole thing is like, Apple Black looks like Bleach. And he invites that comparison. It's cool. Like, you know, he's inspired by Bleach. He thinks Bleach is neato. He draws like Bleach. He made probably the dumbest post about Bleach I have ever seen in my life. I was fucking shocked. Oh my god. Let me pull this up.
Speaking of
I'm gonna
calm,
yeah. Well, please talk about calm while I try to find this. I have more of his Reddit sock puppet accounts, by the way. This is not the only one. I'll save that for later.
Discord briefly disconnected me, so I think maybe it doesn't want me to talk about cum.
Oh no.
It's fine. I didn't have anything to say.
Let's see. Okay, I got it.
Anyway, I'm recording this in a crowded theater, so I just like to say fire, 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 fire.
So the Reddit user Little Kamehameha, he has said on this account that this is him. That like Whytmanga said, "Oh, this is me. I just use another account name." You know, but then it got banned for what seems to be I will guess self-promotion. But here, I'm linking the greatest Whytmanga Reddit post of all time. So Little Kamehameha posts in the subreddit for Bleach. I'm curious, what exactly is Ichigo's motivation? As a Bleach fan, I think it's more, I like fighting than protect friends.
No, I don't even like Bleach, and I can tell you that's wrong.
Exactly, me too. Oh my god, like I flipped through Bleach like what 10 years ago, and I'm like, that's fucking wrong.
Yeah,
hey, this is
I watched
manga
the
protagonist
anime
want to fight or protect his friends.
years ago. I watched it 10 years ago, and I can still tell you that's just so wrong.
How the fuck are people okay with Apple Black if this is his opinion on Bleach? What the fuck? How is this okay? How is he not getting grilled harder? Okay, the comment section in this Reddit, they did grill him for this. Like, the user I suck fat rat cock daily says, man completely ignored the obvious gigantic glowing neon sign pointing them in the right direction and went the other way. Dog, his motivation was established in the first arc where it was all about protection. His trauma is tied to said motivation. How the fuck do and Dolan Stapp says, obvious bait.
Daily, you say.
You gotta line up
comment on that, but I thought
next.
it was overstepping my bounds. But I wanted to say something too.
Okay, so Little Kamehameha replied to one of these comments, verifying that he wasn't just trolling for karma or whatever the fuck. So Matt Yamato 07 says, so many comments, obviously missing the point. Obviously, the blade is me, and the realization that Ichigo and White are all the same. So Zangetsu, White's personality, is also Ichigo's deep desire to get stronger and experience fight. Ichigo, as much as he wants to protect, also loves fighting. Both are true for Ichigo. And Little Kamehameha says, fair response. The other comments were weird. I asked a legit question. LOL. Bro, how do you... And he made this a year ago. This isn't like...
It's like, yes, Ichigo does enjoy the fight, the thrill of the fight, but it's not his main motivation.
Yeah.
I like the other part. I really do have to criticize that because he did such a backhanded way of saying it. Like, well, I was just asking a question. Well, it's like your question was framed in a way that was like criticizing the work. It would be like if I asked a question like, I mean, why does Apple Black not just have a good story? I mean, didn't he just want to write a good story and he wrote this? So why didn't he? Like, you're basically saying, oh, it's a question, but really you're insulting the work.
Oh God. I am, if he's going to say he's inspired by Bleach, I think he's got to read it a little more carefully.
It's like university juniors and seniors years into an English degree not being able to read Dickens. I don't like Dickens, and I'm still pissed off.
Yeah. Like, and the One Piece thing on his he made another post on his Reddit account saying, is One Piece worth it? And it's like you're asking Reddit if if it's worth just fucking watch the thing. You don't need Reddit's permission. He also posted on Attack on Titan. Are any of the Attack on Titan live action good to watch? I heard mixed reviews on story and CGI, and it's like, bro, what the fuck? Like, have you not read the manga? Dude, and he does these, YouTube videos where it's his characters in the Attack on Titan world and the Bleach world. Like, he does all of these, manga crossovers, but I'm like, bro, have you not read these mangas? Like what is like? I think Severance is the most
I mean, like,
recent media he's engaged with. It's very
like,
strange.
okay. The is it worth watching the live action Attack on Titan? Does can still make sense even if you've read the manga, which I have
Yeah.
many problems with Attack on Titan,
Yeah,
separate
yeah.
from
Oh yeah.
many problems.
God, like he
But
admitted in another video that he hasn't read Chainsaw Man or Jujutsu Kaisen, and I'm like, bro, what mangas
ew.
have you read? Like legitimately. Like if you read if Bleach is the one that like you've based your art style on and you're just so in love with, but the point flew over your head like that. What manga are you actually engaged with?
He might be a
like,
big shoujo fan, and unfortunately, I'll have to stand. He might just have read Sally the Witch,
you
the
know,
original
you're right.
1960s version, and he's a
You're
big
right. You're right.
Caribou fan.
Maybe
I
he's hiding
told you
his
it's called
shoujo
Captor
power level.
Sakura.
I believe
Yeah.
that the religious references of Apple Black are actually a reference to how Rayers does the same thing, Magic Knight Rayers. I believe that was what he intended.
You know what?
Actually,
Yeah.
reference to the Evangelion manga.
If only.
That would actually be cool as
yeah.
heck if he knew about the Ava manga, because I feel like there's a lot of stuff that manga has that like you don't get from the show. I
Yeah.
mean, naturally, because it's long
Yeah.
AF. And that
Yeah.
would be really cool if he read
It's
stuff
also
like
just
that.
like weird.
It gets gayer, right?
It does,
The,
yeah.
the manga?
Kaoru and Shinji
Okay,
are pretty
yeah.
gay in the manga.
Fuck yes. Yes.
I'm always
Oh,
glad to give
oh my
Tapir
god.
information on that, about like what I know about gay rep and manga and stuff. Because that's always really
Nice,
cool.
nice. Yeah, I'm rubbing my
As
little
hell.
hooves together. Fucking love Kaoru and Shinji.
Yeah.
So tabbing back to Whytmanga's Patreon post. And by the way, I'm blocked from his Patreon. This isn't a private tab available to all. So end of the road for me after this post. I am locked out of the kingdom after this first chapter of Apple Black. Yeah. Yeah, it's so he did it. He won. I made a big damn announcement on my Substack that I can't review Apple Black anymore if he's rebooting the series and he's putting it on his Patreon and I'm blocked on Patreon. Like, so you did it. I am taking my ball and I am going home. I am unable to review Apple Black, the most recent iteration of Apple Black, because I was like, okay, I'm not going to concern. Yes, you can have it.
Thank you for the ball.
So Whytmanga.
I will put it in the closet and forget it's there.
This is what he should have done with Apple Black instead of just rebooting it and thinking this time I'm going to knock it out of the park. So Whytmanga says, hey guys, follow the Trinity, the genesis of this manga.
Why is it called Apple Black?
Because many years ago, humans received, what's the exact quote? Many years ago, from the heavens above, a celestial tree bore fruit, fragments of power known as black. With its arrival, humanity. I'm already pissed off just reading the manga page.
Thanks. I hate it.
Yeah, but there was a apple black fruit, and if you ate the fruit, you got powers, and every generation has less powers, and the amount of midichlorians in your bloodline depend on how many black fruits your ancestors ate. And that's like another thing. If you're gonna do a manga about bloodlines percentage, that's another thing that just kind of like inherently makes me start sweating. Like you gotta be real careful.
The villain is anti-colonialism and it's about eugenics.
Yeah, like it's like please be careful. Please do your research. He didn't do his research for his light novel about vitiligo, which, like, hey, by the way, message fucking received for me, because like when I did that video, like, because I reviewed his light novel, and I mispronounced it as vitiligo the whole time, and like tons of comments saying, hey, dumbass, you pronounced it wrong. Okay, my bad. Message received. I learned I can make mistakes and admit when I'm wrong, unlike White. So
I, on the other hand, have never made a mistake in my life and
that
am always right.
So that's why I'm glad that you're here on this podcast.
Yeah, I've never mispronounced anything, definitely.
That and like,
I've never mispronounced anything, definitely.
Mispronounced.
Anything.
So the new chapter 1 opens with a big picture of the black tree that gave everyone powers. Ascended
black tree.
And that was like part of my critique when I went over Apple Black when I was reviewing it. Was the first page originally was like Sano's dad writing on paper, and it was this huge fucking info dump, and I was like, okay, nothing in your text bubble is matching up with what is visually represented, so it like makes it hard to stick, and there's like a lot of words, so it's like they fixed so many things that I said, but I can't read any of it past chapter 1, and it's just it hurts. Like, and also, I'll also say, I'm not going to assume that he reads anything of mine. I assume when I am blocked, it is because I talk too much about Pokemon and that they don't want to hear that. I will never assume that I am blocked for anything else unless I'm told clearly and directly. So look, they fixed it. They fixed they fixed the opening they fixed the opening page. They fixed now Sano canonically has a split personality, so his Aerodus arm talks to him.
Oh boy.
Which yeah. There's
I'm
also
sure
like
handled very well.
no. It's fucking awful. I hate it.
I'm sure Apple Black handles split personalities even better than
Not
Attack on Titan handles handles all of the handles the Jewish coding.
yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. There's a mishandling something and then doing it so wrong you actually do Nazi propaganda.
When
Okay, honestly, accidentally is being charitable.
yeah.
Like, there are some things that make me think maybe it wasn't an accident.
Yeah. So this page I have clowned on and laughed at many a times. When Sano meets Simon, he says Simon being the Megane character and Ryuzaki being the loud, brash, angry guy. Sano says to Simon, "You're scarier than Ryuzaki." And I pointed out, like, okay, how is like I said many a times, like, how the fuck is Sano able to innately read people? And he has this like borderline telepathic empathy that he has with other people. Feels like Lily Orchard's light novel Iris and Kiera, where just like the tiniest gesture in the face can connote someone's soul. So this second page I just sent.
What it's like to be autistic?
Right.
Is this what it's like not to be autistic?
I know, right? Like this is it. This is the easy life. Like you just look at someone and you know how they're feeling.
Is this what it's like for the neurotypicals?
Sano is Shonen manga's first neurotypical protagonist. So Whytmanga added this new page in Apple Black, and Simon says, "How is it you're such a good read on people despite ever meeting any?" And Sano says, "I've been taught to trust my instincts. I like to read as well." Like, meaning like he reads books, I think. So I guess books give you super empathy.
That's definitely not true.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And then now I wonder, are they going to change what was an obviously very homophobic instance in Apple Black that gets reposted into the fucking ground? Because look, homophobic jokes can be funny. I get it. I get why. Like this moment is White likes to boast about how
us really need to be taken down a peg.
You have more of a right to say that than me.
Yeah. Look, I get to reclaim it. I got called it enough.
Yeah, I think I've been called it plenty of times. So I think I could say it. I don't know if I can hand out the pass, but I will hand it out to Mark Sanchez, who is not a homophobe. So there's this moment in Apple Black that gets reposted a lot, and because it's a lot of people say like, oh, this is like the funniest moment in Apple Black. I love this moment. This is great. And it got adapted to a motion comic because it was just so hee. And I get why it's funny. I get because, Apple Black is a lot of intense lore dumping. So anytime the characters are just, hanging out and being normal, that's going to stick out to the fans. So,
Wait,
however,
normal is a slur.
Ooh, it is? Can I say it?
No, I just made that up.
Okay.
It should be. I wish it was a slur.
So Sano, after Simon says, I didn't know you two were boyfriend and girlfriend already, to Sano and to Opal, and Sano stands up and says, "Yes, Opal, what more is my girlfriend?" And then he points to Ryuzaki and Simon, and both of you guys are my boyfriends. And so, which Ryuzaki responds with, "Ryuzaki doesn't swing that way, buddy." It gives him a clobbering because how fucking dare he call him a homosexual? And like, I get it. I'm not going to clutch my pearls. I'm going to leave that to Mark Sanchez.
But what about the home away from homosexual?
Oh, a beach house.
Beach house.
Now,
an RV, perhaps.
What I don't understand is Sano says, "I'm sorry, doesn't buddy mean friend? I'm lost and confused." Now, wouldn't Ryuzaki saying Ryuzaki doesn't swing that way? That is the more colloquial turn of phrase being presented here. Wouldn't Sano be more confused by that? Like, so now if Sano is going to be given empathy for like, he has his super empathy where he can innately read people because he just read so many books, and that just made him the world's most specialist little empath. But now, like, are you gonna have to redo this scene where he because now I don't like it. I don't like it. I'll say that. Komugi, do you have any thoughts? You've been a little quiet.
No, yeah, I mostly just wanted to let you all say the things that you said. Yeah, it's just like Mark Sanchez, thank you for commenting genuinely. I hope you come back. And
Yeah.
I want to say this. I hope someone else, even if it's not Mark Sanchez himself, takes up the label of being a Mark Sanchez. Because if you will, we will see it and we will
I hope.
appreciate it. Let them not be
Yeah.
forgotten.
Do you want to get featured on this podcast? Do you want to guarantee that you will be right on the next episode? You must answer the call and take up the mantle of Mark Sanchez.
The only ethical way to ever do a fake AI anime profile pic is do it for the sake of impersonating Mark Sanchez. Generate a new one, make it super legit. That's the best use of AI.
I'll put on because I did find the original AI art picture of Mark Sanchez's profile pic, so I will put that on screen right now. If anyone wants to step up, be the Mark Sanchez that I know you can be. Here's the picture. You could take it. If you want to make your own in the same style, that's all good. I can link you that. I don't know. Should we link the Pinterest person who made Mark Sanchez because they're not involved in all this.
Yeah, definitely support them. If it's just making AI art for their sake, that's totally fine. Definitely support.
Okay.
And
yeah,
they made
calling
us a cyberbully. They're not involved.
Yeah, they made a lot more in that particular super neon art style. Yeah, that one did kind of I wasn't sure if that one was AI at first. Not to make this the AI investigation podcast again, but it was when I found okay, this is the earliest instance of this being posed, and this person just says everything I make is AI. It's okay, well that you confirmed from the horse's mouth. Oh man. Okay. So page 1, to circle back to that, page 1 of the new Apple Black shows the tree. I have some thoughts about this tree because here's some more pocket watching, if you will. Pocket watching of Whytmanga's time. What?
Ain't no
way. Was that?
Ain't no way the tree is AI.
The tree is not AI, but
Good.
I do have concerns about the tree. Yeah, I because it's kind of from a distance, I could see how it's AI, why you would mistake it for AI because it's an unusual pattern.
Honestly, I just you were talking about AI, and then I got distracted, and you were talking about the tree.
Yeah, and it's oh no.
So basically, basically, I'm stupid.
No, it's all good. It's all good. You're not. You've never said anything wrong.
True, I'm incapable of wrong.
Now I'm gonna do a little bit of pocket watching for Whytmanga's limited time on this planet Earth. We are all going to die. You are using your limited time on Earth to redo the same manga a third time. So yeah, I'm going to zoom in on this fucking tree. Okay, Whytmanga has said in the past how it was on his, I'll put on screen which video it was if you want to check my references. But he said how he likes to draw, because he was talking, he hands off some of his work to assist now. And he said, I like drawing the trees and the leaves because that's where you could see an artist's touches and their personal style. I forgot exactly how he phrased it. Now, he's right to an extent. However, this tree is using the default Clip Studio brushes, which there is nothing wrong with that. I use Clip Studio brushes all the fucking time. You could look at any of my speed draws. Look at all of the cheats and shortcuts I take. Now, if he is going to get very precious about the leaves and trees in his manga. Why? It isn't just this tree, by the way. His digital art uses the Clip Studio default tree brushes. If you're going to get all particular about I like the way I do my trees, it's but you're using the default Clip Studio. You don't have a distinct style for your trees. And that's the other thing. If you go on the Clip Studio store, because it is very easy to make a leaf brush, a bark brush. So there's no shortage of people making their own tree and leaf brush and then throwing it on the Clip Studio store either for free or paid. Why is he getting so precious about the leaves? And it's here's the other thing. Okay, I get doodling trees in the background and rendering the bark and the leaves and just kind of zoning out as chill zen thing. I totally get that. But in that case, it's okay, but that's what that is. Not everything needs to be yeah, I'm such a fucking artist. I'm the fucking goat. I'm the just sucking your own dick. I don't. So here we go. Page 1, we got the Clip Studio tree brush. Cool. I'm just thinking how much fucking time have you wasted on this manga? Because now it's going to be even more time now that you're fucking rebooting it, and all of the books that I just bought of date. Thanks a lot, White. Thanks. Now I gotta buy it again. I'm gonna go fucking broke supporting you, White. I need to cry for a second. If anyone has thoughts about the apple black tree, the big beautiful apple black tree.
Someone was talking manga in response to you talking about Odunze, was it, who was talking about manga and who was talking about Bleach? Someone
Yes.
was, so yeah, I wanted to make sure that was Odunze just to make sure that I wasn't talking about a different author. And somehow this led to a really interesting discussion from other people talking about how there was apparently a canon or at least implied trans character in Spider-Verse. I watched Spider-Verse and I didn't know that. Does anyone know who the trans cap? Sorry, this is so off topic.
Yeah, it's
Gwen.
She's kind of obliquely implied to be trans.
Whoa.
Yeah.
But like
so trans
very
woman?
lightly implied.
Trans woman or
yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
very
stand.
lightly.
Oh
very
my
lightly
gosh.
implied.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool.
I don't care about Spider-Man.
It's difficult to care about Spider-Man when anime exists, since it is kind of just like the same stories, or even just like tokusatsu, Like I watched Kamen Rider Ryuki the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's Spider-Man, but I care about what's going on. No offense, Spider-Man. I'm gonna get canceled now for that. But
also the comic book, right? The comics industry and the industries that feed off the comics industry take everything good and turn it to shit.
Agreed.
Oh.
Also,
that reminds me of
happened to
Amy Worrell's
Spider-Ham? I
comic.
miss him. Why is he only in the first one? I'm sorry. I'm making all the Marvel fans pissed at me.
Oh, Amy, the author of The Deathless, wrote this wonderful comment. And Komugi, if you want to read it.
Absolutely. Is it in the chat?
Yeah.
Okay, so I went on a whole rant on the call I was about on how Saturday AM is trying to be like Marvel or Shonen Jump. Yeah, agreed. And you know what? I do like elements of Marvel, so I know what you're saying there. But without having built the necessary trust in the audience to work. People stuck to Shonen Jump because they were pushing boundaries into finding a industry and weaving new stories in and out as they prove themselves to be popular. While Marvel often reboots stories, it is my understanding that they tend to conclude in some way before being remade. That's very accurate, and that applies to indie comics as well, which I'm more into, such as Spawn and Max. With a different writer, so it is a different story. I know two authors, one only by name, one which I have occasionally interacted with, who are stuck in the same stories they have been when I first met them 6 or so years ago because they kept publishing the story before it is ready, then forcing themselves to endlessly edit it instead of simply finishing the thing. Something I also struggle with, or making something else that is better. That's also a good idea. That's what I always say about the Super Mario Bros. Z guy. When he came back after that 6-year hiatus, I was like, oh, he's going to come back with an original IP. He's going to be like the new Glitch. And he's like, I'm remaking episode 1 of my 2013 cartoon. I'm like, no, it was Mario fanfiction. No. It is really hard to have any interest in reading any of the Saturday AM stories. They have rebooted their most popular names multiple times. Very accurate. Having this series of stories that come together to form a recognizable brand doesn't work without the structure to support it, and they are already trying to branch out into other forms. An author struggling with finishing a project, I understand, and have been in that position, but knowing that it appears to be a reoccurring issue with this whole enterprise is very worrisome when it comes to its capacity of building long-term trust. Yeah, how can we trust the idea if they don't seem to trust it themselves? By the way, Taperclip, if you find this worthwhile, feel free to read it on stream. Very much appreciated.
You think we need permission?
We got Mark Sanchez's permission. That's why this is the Mark Sanchez episode. He actually is going to be on School Pitch too. No, I'm kidding. I'm messing around. That's all. I'm messing with you.
Well, here's some more unaliving.
Oh yeah,
but they in the newest version of Apple Black. I have to specify this because now there are 3 versions of Apple Black floating around. So the Patreon exclusive, 3rd version, most recent, they include a character who seems to be a stand-in for Harry Potter, and he gets killed immediately. What? Oh, thank you.
Yes, of course. Keeping the mood light.
What is this makes me very uncomfortable. And in his Patreon post, which sorry, I keep getting distracted, but he pretty directly says that he is inspired by J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter, which I have a lot of issues with. But you are both trans women, so I want to hear your thoughts.
Well, you see,
Suddenly adding Harry Potter.
Well, you see, my problem with Harry Potter is that it sucks shit and it was never good in the first place. And I
Agreed.
could tell this when I was 7, so you have no excuse.
Yeah. Komugi, any thoughts about them suddenly adding a Harry Potter to be immediately killed?
I agree.
Apple Black.
It's complicated because on the one hand, this is a bad look because they don't know much about female authors in general. I made a joke earlier that they know about shoujo. They don't know about shoujo. They had to get someone else.
They certainly don't.
Yeah, they had to get someone else to write about shoujo, and even then, it wasn't that well written because I'm sure that someone from the executive team was hamstringing that writer or something that led it to be not very good shoujo coverage. The point I'm getting is that we should definitely be pro female artists and writers in the world of Saturday Wars because clearly they need more of them. But the exception is J.K. Rowling, who's a piece of shit who wrote a piece of shit book. So, like, on the one hand, I'm not defensive of Harry Potter. It's a bad look to reference a work by a female writer and then just shit on it. But it's the work they're shitting on deserves to be shit on. So,
he's saying in his Patreon, he's saying in his Patreon post that he is inspired by Harry Potter and specifically citing J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter. It's like, I know there's like Harry Potter fans that are like, man, that J.K. Rowling's up to some nonsense, and that whole meme of like Hatsune Miku wrote Harry Potter,
yeah, I love that meme.
Y'all, I'm be real. Look, I could give you several children's series that are better than Harry Potter. I could give you better children's series set in a magical school. Like, nothing in Harry Potter is original.
I would argue that is part of the appeal, but I'm not into. I don't reference Harry
There are a couple original ideas, but like, it's not an original story. It's not an original setting. It's not like
okay. So because this is the Mark Sanchez Memoriam. So we must all clutch our pearls as hard as Mark Sanchez would have clutched their pearls. Now, so if I sound a little too pearl clutchy, it is in memoriam of Mark Sanchez. Now, I know there's going to be a Harry Potter live action reboot, which fuck you, don't do that. But the theory going around is, J.K. Rowling's got a stank to her. So they're going to reboot the series and make the new actors contractually obligated so they can't talk shit about J.K. Rowling or her politics. There's also been more race bending casting, and I have like, I don't know, like there's just like a lot of bad ways that this scene in Apple Black can be interpreted. I think the intent, because I'm thinking like, okay, if they're going to reboot Harry Potter to be more diverse, and if this is going to be on people's minds, it's like, well, now, like, and to be clear, like I've seen non-white Harry Potter headcanons floating around for a long time. Now, this just kind of feels mean-spirited towards a Black reimagining of Harry Potter. I don't like that energy. I don't like, where it's like, oh, I'm paying tribute to this, so I'm going to kill it.
I think tribute to this by killing it horribly.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's supposed to be like, playtime is over. Harry Potter couldn't take on our level 1 grunt. Like I think it's supposed to be like that, but I think that
I wonder if I could get away with that. Just go around killing puppies and say I'm paying tribute to dogs.
Right? Yeah. I racial aspect makes this uncomfortable for this was not in the original. There's also they also go back and forth between, they use scenes from chapter 1 and chapter 2, like back and forth. Like those are, and then they also draw in some new scenes. I don't like, it just makes it unnecessarily bloated for a first chapter. And now Opal Wantmore is introduced in chapter 1. So every time that I have said Opal Wantmore appears in chapter 2, well, now I'm fucking wrong. Every time I've said that is now wrong. And I can be hand waved away with, I don't know dick or shit.
I gotta wrap up soon in like maybe 20 minutes. Is that okay? Sorry.
Oh, no, it's all good. It's all good. You know what? next time I will finish reading this post about the rebooted Apple Black. I will say if you look,
How
I
about
plug
How about I
Whytmanga's
read it right
Patreon
now?
more
Give
than
it
my
to me, and
own.
I can read it right now, and then we can laugh at it together. Assuming we're gonna laugh.
Okay.
I've got like 10 more
Okay.
minutes.
Yes.
Okay. You just go ahead and read it. Otherwise, I'm just gonna like think of every fart that he's posted on Reddit, every line.
Hey
Like,
guys.
if you want to see the new Apple Black, subscribe to Whytmanga's Patreon. I'll say. Yeah, go ahead, Komugi, please.
Hey guys, follow the Trinity, the genesis of this manga, and join the family with my manga, Apple Black. I'll have the first 3
Yeah.
chapters free for all, but future chapters, colored versions of the manga, and more rewards will be for members. They need me to be their narrator. This is just like how Trixie said that I could be a good narrator. I can really narrate this stuff.
Yes.
Good. Enjoy!
Yes.
This chapter is a little different from the version in the manga volume, with a fresh beginning, new and or
Ugh.
altered parts, and even some events and scenes from chapter 2 brought in for a new experience here. Did someone want to say something?
God. No, I'm just in pain. Just thinking of how much he changed it. And just thinking of how the books I just bought are now out of date. Whytmanga, I really wish I could support you on Patreon. I really do. Anyway.
The first ever iteration of this chapter was written and drawn in 2011. My visual and narrative tweaks didn't change much, and I'm glad and
it changed a lot this time.
I'm glad and in part surprised that it still holds up. No more tinkering with things, as I'm working on volume 6 at the moment, but I always want chapter 1s to be the best they can be if I can help. I love how it's multiple chapter 1s. We're just acknowledging at this point.
Oh, God, yeah, that's true.
I wonder if longtime fans and readers remember and can spot the differences, or how many you can spot. Let me know in the comments below.
Ton.
Also, please give a like and tell someone who may be interested in a manga like this to give it a shot. Thanks. See, that's a polite way to encourage people to not pirate your manga. I would encourage you to do that kind of stuff more and not some of the other stuff I've been hearing that you've been doing. Like, if you want to interact with your Reddit fans, say like...
You only did it once, but I don't know. Once is more than 0.
What is the story about?
Allow me to... please let me... Oh.
Sure, you can read this.
Yes.
Are you up? Have you got it loaded? You're on it?
I have it loaded, yes.
Good.
What is the story about? Apple Black follows Sano, a young sorcerer blessed with the arm of a god, who struggles to fulfill his prophesied destiny as the Trinity, savior of the world, fearing he may be quite the opposite.
Ugh.
Despite ominous visions steering him down darker paths, Sano aims to protect the world from the infinite night. An eternal night of chaos, all while trying to uncover the secrets behind his father's demise and research the immense power that is Apple Black. What is it inspired by?
And the villain wants to fight colonialization. I'll just throw that out there. Oh, Sano has bad dreams every night. And meanwhile, his rival is like, colonization is bad. Like, who am I supposed to fucking root for here? All right. Sorry. Please continue.
Well, clearly the guy with bad dreams. Anyway. What is it inspired by? Apple Black was inspired by mainstream series like One and Yusuke Murata's One Punch Man, Tide Kubo's Bleach, sure buddy, and the action-packed energy in many shonen manga. Action-packed my ass.
They fucking talk endlessly.
Inspired by SAO.
Really?
Diner scenes.
Yeah. The cafe scene.
I really got into drawing manga in 2009, so all the major shonen series from then had an impact on me, and I started my journey. Name them.
Which ones besides Bleach? Would you totally miss the fucking point?
Chainsaw Man.
Please read Chainsaw Man. No, don't. Look, the anime's good. Don't watch the anime. I want Whytmanga to read more manga. Oh, I don't think we're gonna get through to him. I think it's a lost cause.
He can't hear us. He has his AirPods in.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. He doesn't listen to this podcast. Nobody from Saturday AM listens to this podcast. We could say whatever the hell we want.
Yep.
And I just want to say I miss Mark Sanchez.
Yeah. So all the major shonen series from then had an impact on me, and I started my journey and my Whytmanga YouTube channel. Then helped found Saturday AM manga publisher in 2013. We've kept growing ever since, thanks to supporters. This series is also inspired by some mind-bending Western content surrounding magic and science fiction, like J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter. Okay. No.
Mind bending? That's not.
The mind-bending works of science
I've read
fiction
Harry
and
Potter.
fantasy.
It's not.
I've read
Star
Harry
Trek,
Potter.
House of Leaves.
I've read far too much. I've read far too much Harry Potter fanfic, mostly out of hatred and spite.
Yeah.
That is the best
Harry
quote of all
Potter's-
time.
The only one of any of those that I would call mind-bending is Harry Potter and the Methods of Rationality, and that's not mind-bending for the reasons it's in the way it's trying to be. It's more mind-bending in the, oh wait, the author actually believes this kind of way.
Yeah.
That is the best
Holy
quote of
fucking shit,
all
that's
time.
dude,
Mind-bending
like-
Western
oh.
content like Harry Potter. It's not.
That's a whole other
Okay,
fucking rabbit
Is
hole.
Europe?
That's
Okay,
a whole
I
other
guess
fucking
Europe
rabbit
is the
hole we don't have
West.
time for. That's a whole other thing we don't have time for. Yeah, mind-bending
Yeah.
Western content surrounding magic and science fiction, like J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter, HBO's
Oh, man.
Westworld. What
Even
if robots
more.
were people is not that mind-bending. I'm gonna be real. I have never even touched Westworld. I'm just being a hater for fun.
Hell yeah. I mean, we are the finest of cyberbullies, so we gotta keep up. I want to
HBO's
keep our title.
Westworld, HBO's Westworld and more. Okay, how about you want mind-bending science fiction? Read some Le Guin.
There we go.
Left Hand of Darkness. Fucking read it.
Reach it.
Mind-bending science fiction like a series of unfortunate events and Harry Potter. That's
I
actually
mean, a
an
series
insult.
of unfortunate events holds up.
Yeah, it's a great book.
Like,
series.
Yeah,
that was an
that one's
insult.
more
That is an-
mind bending than Harry Potter.
It
Honestly,
really is.
like-
There's complex. There's complex morality. Like,
Yeah.
Agreed. It's a good series. That was actually an insult for
holds
me.
up. It's
I
yeah.
believe Whytmanga's like, he's in his 30s or 40s, and for that age range, Harry Potter is like comfort food. It's like, oh, I'm getting back together with my friends with the Hogwarts trio. Like, it's not like for an adult into Harry Potter, which he
If
is.
you're
Look, I
reading-
know Harry Potter adults are its own thing, but like,
If you're
quite
reading
literally, you are
Harry
a Harry Potter
Potter
adult.
as an adult and you still think it's good, I think you need to get your head checked.
Yeah. Like, I get going back to the stuff you liked as a kid and being like, oh, I remember. Well, like, okay, but you
It's
can't
like-
call it mind bending. You can't, like, that's another step. Then
Okay,
again, he
hey,
didn't
you-
understand Bleach, so
I'm literally
fucking nails,
not.
man.
Yeah.
That
Anyway,
was a good
looks
read.
to reimagine many of the themes and concepts. Which ones? This had nothing in common
Wands.
with Westworld. Wands.
He likes to talk about how wands in his world. Oh, that'll be in the next paragraph. Sorry. He really does like to talk about wands.
Yes. Okay. What makes a different? Apple Black aims to create a series where many people get to see themselves, reflecting the world around us today. Beyond the innovative reimaginings of magical concepts like its whole new take on sorcery and wands, the take is that wands can be shaped different.
Yeah, that's it. Wands can be anything in this world. So
Yeah,
cigarette can be a wand. See,
The new take is that more things are called wands.
Yeah. It's also like, because Mikhail, the teacher, has a cigarette that's a wand, but it's like, but you smoke a cigarette. Like, if
Yeah,
it was a
that
vape,
doesn't make sense.
if it was a vape, that would make sense. Like, oh, my vape is also, but like the cigarette goes away. So it's like, is it a
Yeah.
pack of cigarettes? Does it like keep regenerating new smokes? What is going on?
Hold on. Let me reach into my into my satchel bag and grab my pack of wands.
Actually, that does
My pack of
infuriate me.
candle wands.
That does infuriate me because there's such potential to like actually have an interesting theme there. Because okay, I'm gonna go on a slight tangent for a second, but there's a great.
Yeah,
Please,
burning
please,
yourself out for magic.
We haven't gotten enough magical girl tangents, please.
There's a great OVA from 1994 known as Magic Users Club by the great director Junichi Sato.
I love that one.
It's
Yes.
so fucking good.
I've
it has
never
great
seen
gay
that
rap.
one,
It's just
But I
wonderful.
probably should.
Yes.
It has many themes which it hopes to explore, such as, for example, again, like the main characters, some of them being gay and LGBT in some ways, and like feeling like they struggle to fit in with other kids at their school. So it primarily is a slice of life that explores like coming of age stories with teens. However, it does have a large magic element. It's about magical girls and boys who are in the titular Magic Users Club, and it's explored how some of them who have more magical aptitude and talent than others are able to turn literally anything into a magic wand, because the way that the magic in Magic Users Club was made was by finding a mysterious grimoire book, which has a sort of like design on it, which is like a special design that's like a spiral. And if you have any object and you paste that spiral onto it, you can turn that into a wand. So at one point in the series, they literally turn fellow...